You're watching News 4 San Antonio.
A man once described as a person of interest in the death of Trinity University cheerleader is now being charged with murder. News 4 San Antonio's Matthew Seedorf, who first broke the story back in October, joins us now with what we're learning at this point. Matthew?
Well, here's the arrest warrant for 22-year-old Mark Howerton. Sheriff's deputies confirm he turned himself in about 3 hours ago. But just to catch you up, here's what we know right now. According to the affidavit that we got, Trinity cheerleader Kaylee Mandati died on Halloween. She was 19 years old. As we first reported, she had been a passenger in a car traveling from Houston when someone noticed she wasn't breathing. She was dropped off at a hospital in Luling and died the next day. According to the affidavit, Mark Howerton had been in a relationship with Kaylee. The two had gotten in previous fights, including one instance where Howerton allegedly slammed the victim's head against a car window. The police report indicates Mandati died from blunt force injuries to her head, face, and mouth. This evening, some students say this arrest brings them just a little bit of closure.
I feel for her family, and I hope that they feel better and some closure, knowing that he's no longer, just out in the open. And then personally myself, I guess I can say I feel safer knowing that someone that has caused such a horrible thing to happen is no longer out in the open.
Howerton faces first-degree murder and sexual assault. We'll have more details tonight on News 4 at 10 o'clock. Back to you.
And I'm meteorologist Jeanette Calle. Check out the current temperatures. It's been a warm day, 83 degrees right now in San Antonio, 87 in Carrizo Springs and Cotulla. The clouds are starting to increase. That's out ahead of this dry line and this cold front, both of which will be moving off towards the east. I think we'll see some showers and possibly some thunderstorms here. Find out the timing and what the chances of rain are zone by zone in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Jeanette. Happening now for the first time, we hear from the mother of a teen shot and killed in Converse. News 4 San Antonio's Amanda Weber joins us now with this mother's message to her son's killer.
Yeah, we spoke with the mother this morning, and she told us that he was a loving, good kid. She told us that she's hoping that someone out there knows something that can help police find his killer.
Everybody said he was like a best friend to him.
The family of Zach Sakuda is devastated. Converse police say the 17-year-old was shot in the head Sunday afternoon at this park inside his neighborhood. Police tell us Zachary was in a car with two other teens when he and a teen in the back seat began arguing. The two teens ran away, leaving Zach in the car dying.
He cared for people. He didn't have an evil thing in his body.
This shooting is one of several recent serious crimes in Converse. The city's mayor says it's still a very safe place, and residents should know police and city leaders are always working diligently to guarantee that.
A lot of the crime is outsiders coming in to Converse. Of course, they're dealing with some of the residents, but they're outside. It is a younger generation that's dealing with these issues. So we're working proactively with the community churches. We're working with the Judson ISD school district and what we can do to address this issue.
Converse police say they have some very good leads and expect to have an arrest very soon. Zach's family is asking for anyone with information to speak up.
I know, people are scared to say something. I know, I've been there.
Converse police do have a person of interest, but no one has been arrested for the capital murder charge. If you have information, call Converse Police Department. Back to you.
Robert Price here at the live desk with a couple of breaking news items to tell you about. White House Communications Director Hope Hicks has announced she is resigning. We'll tell you more about that in about 10 minutes. Back here closer to home, we've also learned a bus driver up in the Austin area has been fired because of this video that has now gone viral. It appears to show him lighting a crack pipe. That's a bus driver for Age of Central Texas, provides services to the elderly. He's at a stoplight. He's got his pipe. He's got his lighter. He's lighting his pipe. The bus driver actually makes eye contact with the person taking this video. The light changes. He drives away. Age of Central Texas says they first learned all about this after it was posted on social media last night. They say they've now fired that driver, and Round Rock Police is investigating. April.
So while we haven't suspended anybody from school, we have suspended them from participating in extracurricular activities, whether it be athletics or fine arts.
Repercussions from a fight club organized outside school hours. More arrests have been made related to that Del Rio High School fight club. More charges and several adults have now been caught up in the organized fights from earlier this month. News 4's Ashley King tells us how they're connected.
What started out with some students thinking they were just going to fight, they ended up being part of something bigger.
And that something, Superintendent Dr. Carlos Rios says, included narcotics.
As some of those students, they uncovered that they were selling drugs.
News of the latest arrest came early this week after deputies analyzed cell phones of some of the Del Rio High School students allegedly involved in the off-campus fight club. Messages and videos on the phones connected deputies to some former students who are now adults, along with the evidence of drugs. Because of the arrests and charges, school officials say 6 current students have been forced to stop extracurricular sports and other fine arts club activities.
Unfortunately, some good kids that made the wrong decision to be there got caught up in all this.
The superintendent says the school district is working not only with those students, but also continues to cooperate with the sheriff's investigation. Ashley King, News 4, San Antonio.
We want to pass something great. And to me, something great has to be where you stop it from happening. And I think there's only one way. But again, if you feel not to have that, you understand. I want a counter. I want a very strong counterpunch.
The president voices support for tougher gun control measures in a meeting on school safety, urging lawmakers to do the same. Across the nation tonight, security on high alert for the first day back at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. About 50 uniformed law enforcement officers from all over South Florida were there as a show of support and protection. Students say the mood on campus is uneasy, but their mission is clear. 2 weeks ago today, one of their former classmates opened fire, leaving 17 people dead and many more injured. This week, some of those same students came to Capitol Hill looking for help from lawmakers. National correspondent Michelle Macaluso has the story about how certain businesses are already responding in support of the students' concerns.
As lawmakers on Capitol Hill debate gun control, some public companies are expressing their concerns. Delta and Hertz have discontinued discounts to NRA members. And Dick's Sporting Goods announced gun buyers will have to be at least 21. And the chain will no longer sell assault rifle type weapons and high capacity magazines. Their CEO says he's prepared for consequences in sales.
The hunt business is an important part of our business, no doubt about it. And we know there's going to be some backlash. We were so disturbed and saddened by what happened in Parkland that we said, we need to do something.
The announcement comes 2 weeks after a gunman killed 17 people at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. As of Wednesday afternoon, the backlash had started on Dick's Twitter page, with some calling for a boycott of the sporting good company. Meanwhile, those who want more gun control say a move like this could help their cause.
Political change rarely starts in Washington, D.C. and then trickles down to the grassroots. Almost always, it's bottoms up.
Gun rights advocate John Lott is worried about the trade-off between legitimate gun ownership and politics.
My bigger concern is if we go and enact laws that will go and ban people from being able to go and have guns for self-defense.
Lott adds that mass shooters target gun-free zones since people can't defend themselves.
Because they know the longer it takes for somebody to arrive on the scene with a gun, the more people they're going to be able to go and kill.
After the Sandy Hook massacre in 2012, Dick's temporarily stopped selling assault-style weapons from its stores. This time, executives say the change in policy is permanent. On Capitol Hill, I'm Michelle Macaluso.
And sales of bulletproof backpacks have been on the rise since that Parkland shooting. These backpacks come with insertable bulletproof panels. Manufacturers claim can stop bullets from nearly all handguns, but not those AR-15 style rifles like the one used by the shooter in Florida. Now, even though many schools are considering added protection for classrooms such as blast-resistant doors and high-tech glass, many parents like that backpack option to help keep their children safe.
Students in Cary, North Carolina held a walkout today to take a stand against gun violence. They wore maroon to honor the 17 lives lost at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School during a mass shooting 2 weeks ago.
We as young people, we realize that we have a voice, but sometimes we don't know how to use it. And when it comes to certain situations like this, that's when we speak out the most because we have a lot to say about it.
Coming up at 6, what happens when the way the world is changing is also changing? We hear from a long-time civil rights activist about the efforts of young people across the nation. And 6 months after Harvey, how is Rockport recovering? We sent our delayed Matthew to check in with the people who live and work there.
And still ahead, what does your body's shape have to do with your heart's health? We'll tell you. For your help tonight, we are learning more about a new study that says young teenagers are watching more pornography. Indiana State University found that boys as young as 13 and girls as young as 14 admit they watch porn. The study also shows a third of all teenagers have a smartphone, and that gives them that instant access to the internet and to exposure of explicit content.
So for teenagers to think this is the way they're supposed to act, this is the way sex is supposed to be, that can be very confusing, and it can be damaging to the growing brain.
Now, researchers recommend that parents talk with kids about pornography as they enter middle school to help them understand what they see is not real and does not represent real relationships or genuine intimacy.
A closer look at belly fat strengthens the argument that the shape of your body can impact your health. British researchers say having an apple shape with more fat around the waist and hips increases a person's risk of a heart attack more than being overall obese. Excess belly fat was especially harmful in women. Experts say these findings could lead to more specific treatments for obesity.
Trending right now, are you part of the Black Panther Challenge? Well, that hashtag continues to go viral and to raise money tonight with $800,000 already raised from people all around the world. Now, the purpose is to make sure that kids who want to see it get to see that hit superhero flick. The challenge began to raise money first for kids in Harlem. 2 months later, more than 500 GoFundMe pages are still collecting money for that effort.
I saw the movie. Awesome. All right, check out satellite and radar. Clouds are starting to move in. There's a cold front on the way. I think we'll see some rain tonight, and then get this, sunshine for the second part of the work week, but more rain possible over the weekend. We'll also see how we did in the month of February in terms of cool days versus warm days. I'll have more after the break.
Robert Price back here at the live desk with that breaking news we told you about at the top of the newscast. White House Communications Director Hope Hicks has announced she's resigning. The 29-year-old is one of President Trump's longest-serving aides. Even before the presidency, worked for the Trump Organization, worked as his campaign press secretary. Just yesterday, she testified in front of the House Intelligence Committee as part of the Russia probe, but the White House says her departure has been in the works for several weeks. In a statement, the president praises Hope Hicks for doing, quote, great work. April, Randy.
All right, thanks, Robert. Just within the past half hour or so, a meeting down in Rockport wrapped up, and it was all about letting people know where they are in the recovery from Harvey. Our Delane Matthew is there tonight and talked with the mayor and city leaders about this. Delane?
Yeah, this was a status update, you could say, 6 months after Hurricane Harvey hit this little town, and a lot of progress has been made. Let's get you into video now. Video taken just today, within the past couple of days, really. And when you compare all of this to the last 6 months, you can really tell that a lot of progress has been made, but a lot still needs to be done. In fact, the mayor today pointing out 3 specific things they need the most.
3 things: money, manpower, and materials. Money to cover some of the cost of rebuilding, in some cases completely. Manpower to do the work, and the materials for them to do the work with.
All right, so that was Mayor C.J. Wax out of Rockport, and he will be here tonight, as well as some city leaders coming from Port Aransas tonight. All of them going to be talking about where we stand, where these 2 little towns stand 6 months after Harvey. We'll have that for you coming up tonight at 6:30.
All right, thanks, Delane. And right then, we'll also be having that town hall meeting, Hurricane Harvey, 6 months later. You can hear from the governor about what's being done, as well as from representatives from FEMA and from the State General Land Office. Also, we'll have, as you heard there, city and county leaders who are still hurting after Harvey. They'll join us live from Rockport all the way over to Beaumont. You can catch that live right here on 4 and at news4sa.com starting at 6:30. And as so many are still recovering from Harvey, an elderly victim of the storm now has finally a safe space to call home. Now, this is what 98-year-old Naomi Williams' Houston home looked like It was last November still, after the storm in August. FEMA had denied her help, so a nonprofit group called the Relief Gang stepped in. The group's led by Trey the Truth and DJ Mr. Rogers, who have helped several Houstonians hit by Harvey.
I know I'll be comfortable for the rest of my life.
Williams' remodeled home includes all new furniture as well.
All right, check out this time-lapse video. We had some fog in parts of the area early this morning, but then we saw some sunshine throughout the afternoon. It was partly cloudy across much of the city today, and because of the break in the cloud cover, we got up to 84 degrees. That is well above the normal. The normal high temperature for this time of the year is 70 degrees. If you like it warm, well, tomorrow it's going to be cooler than today, even cooler on Friday, and then over the weekend it should start to warm back up. All right, it is the last day of the month, and let's go back in time and see how we did for the month. Check this out, our calendar for the month. We only had 5 sunny days. Most of the month was cloudy, but we had 12 cooler than normal days. For the most part, especially for the last couple of weeks of the month, temperatures were on the warm side above the normal. As we go into the month of March, which is my favorite month of the year, normal high temperature is 73, low is 50. We got up to 100 degrees back in 1991 during the month of March, and with rainfall, average is 2.31 inches. Record is over 7 inches from 2007, and the least we've gotten in the month of March was back in 2011 when we only got 0.01 inches of rain. Live look outside, World Car Weather Cam. It's mostly cloudy right now, 83 degrees, south-southeast wind at 10 miles an hour, relative humidity at 53%. Pretty quiet right now, but you can see all of the action ahead of this dry line over north central Texas. We have a cold front behind that. These two will sort of merge and then push to the east, arriving here tonight. Check out the storm outlook. Most of the severe weather in the yellow there will be around Dallas and up towards southern Arkansas. However, as we zoom on in here in our 4 zones, there's a marginal risk for some locally strong thunderstorms tonight after 9 o'clock tonight up towards northern Edwards County and western Kerr County. We're out of that severe threat here in San Antonio, but there could be a couple thunderstorms. We do have the Gulf moisture here that will be interacting with the front. That's going to help to bring us some showers and possibly a couple thunderstorms. That's before midnight. After midnight, the cool and dry air filters in from the north and west, and tomorrow it's going to feel great. You'll definitely need a light jacket in the morning, but by the afternoon, looking good. We'll see the cloud cover coming back as we kick off the weekend, so rather cloudy on Saturday. 72 and breezy tomorrow, mostly sunny, partly cloudy on Friday, a 20% chance of rain on Saturday, 30% chance on Sunday. There is another cold front that's going to come through the area Sunday night into Monday. The western zone dry and sunny tomorrow and Friday, clouds on Saturday. The hill country looking at a chance of rain from Saturday through Monday. That's also the case for the eastern zone. This will be the sunshine for tomorrow, a little more cloud cover Friday, and then chances of rain there return on Saturday. Washing car weather tomorrow.
Yes.
So many people asking me, when can I wash my car? Tomorrow.
Okay, good. Thank you, Jeanette. Yeah.
All right, Don, we have a game finally in San Antonio.
They had that rodeo road trip.
Right.
They didn't look very good, but they ended well in Cleveland. But they got a test tonight. He's the hottest player going in the entire NBA. Can the Spurs slow down the unibrow? It's game night at the AT&T Center. Straight ahead.
A violent robbery, an Uber driver caught on camera, who police now have in custody, and what the woman in this shocking video is saying tonight at 6.
All right, it's game night with the Spurs trying to win their second in a row. Not going to be easy with the Pelicans in town tonight. New Orleans, they come in on a 6-game winning streak. Anthony Davis is on a tear. He's averaging over 40 points and 15 rebounds during that winning streak. And the Spurs are also going to be shorthanded trying to stop him tonight. Pau Gasol is doubtful. In fact, he's been ruled as out now with a sore knee. Kawhi is out as well, so stopping the brow is going to be even tougher than usual.
Great, he's putting up crazy numbers, he's blocking shots, he's being active, he's leading that team.
That dude's great. He's big, he could handle it, he could shoot it from everywhere. Crash the boards, he's athletic, man. He's just everything you want from a player. I mean, he just not happen to be 6'8" or 6'9". He's 6'11", 7 foot, and he just have everything. So it's going to be a team effort to slow him down.
Going to be tough. Spurs and Pelicans tip off 7:30. We'll have all the highlights and reaction for you tonight at 10 o'clock. And coming up at 6 o'clock, more on the Spurs, plus the buzzer beater that sent Harlandale to the next round. The reaction is just priceless. You've got to see it coming up at 6 o'clock.
And coming up tonight at 6:30, again here on 4, we are hosting Harvey 6 months later, Town Hall Live. We'll look at the recovery process all over Texas, what's next for the victims, and we'll be live streaming that at news4sa.com.
Well, tonight, the CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods tells us why his company will no longer sell assault-style weapons or sell guns to those under 21. Also, walking while distracted, one explanation for an alarming rise in pedestrian deaths tonight.
All right, here's your forecast for tonight. Cold front will be coming in, a 50% chance of showers, possibly some thunderstorms. It's going to be turning cloudy, and temperatures are going to be dropping overnight into the 50s. A 60% chance of rain in the hill country. So make sure you have the News 4 weather app. You can track the showers and storms as the cold front comes in. And then tomorrow morning, it's going to feel a whole lot better. Sunshine for the second part of the work week.
I don't know that I care about hot or cold at this point. I just want the humidity to be gone,
Tomorrow
right?
is going to be your day.
Okay.
Yes, a lot less humid.
Good to hear. Thanks,
And
Jen.
Don has a last-minute forecast about the Spurs and the Pelicans.
Going to be a good game tonight, but they're missing Kawhi Leonard and they're missing Pau Gasol, so they're shorthanded in trying to stop Anthony Davis. But still, the Spurs are playing good.
It'll be a
This last
challenge.
game.
We'll see you at 6.
Good night.